Hey, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Blue. Welcome back to another video. And this one, I'm excited for this video because the pets I'm about to show you, in my opinion, are some of the coolest pets in the game. And that's because these pets have seen the chaos of battle and lived to tell the tale. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you tameable pets that have some form of injuries or battle scars. All of these pets are one of a kind, meaning they're only going to appear one place in the game. I'll show you what the pet looks like, where to tame it, and exactly what it brings with regards to performance and abilities. Before we get into it, guys, I just want to remind you that leaving me a like on this video does help me out on the channel, and subscribing will help you to not miss out on any new videos, which, by the way, at this point are going up about once every week. So without further ado, this is your World of Warcraft Battleworn pet guide. Let's get right into it. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way, guys. Let's talk about Fenryr. Fenryr is a boss in the Halls of Valor dungeon, and he just looks freaking sick, right? He's all scarred up and he's got this yellow glow coming out of his injuries. He's got runes sitting there on his back legs, which, by the way, do light up when he runs. And obviously, he's got the spears sticking out of him. And it doesn't show very well in this video, but you'll see it when he turns his head. His right eye has a scar straight through it, and that is also glowing yellow. Not to mention, just one of the coolest wolf models in the game as far as the shape of his body, right? And he just looks fierce. I mean, look at those teeth. This guy, I mean, he just looks dope. So if you want to tame this guy, just go ahead and head over to the Halls of Valor dungeon. Now when you get to this area, the Fields of the Eternal Hunt, you're going to enter at the top right, come down and follow the loop to the right. Now the first place you're going to encounter him is up in this little roundabout area. Now what you want to do, actually, you know what? Before I forget to tell you guys, Fenryr is only tameable if you solo the mythic version of Halls of Valor. It's very important. Not heroic, not normal. Don't go in with a group. Solo mythic. It's super easy since we way out level it at this point, but that's just something that you're gonna want to remember. Now the first place you're going to encounter him is in this little roundabout area right here, and you're just going to damage him down. He's going to run away down to this little cave in the bottom left corner of the map. Now the boss himself is not tameable, so all you're going to want to do is you're going to want to kill him, defeat the boss, and then a tameable non-hostile version of Fenryr will spawn, and you'll be able to tame him up. So Fenryr obviously is a wolf, which means that he belongs to the Ferocity pet family, bringing you Predator's Thirst and Primal Rage. That just gives you 10% passive leech for you and your pet. And Primal Rage is going to increase yours and your party's haste by 30% for 40 seconds. It's a very, very, very big damage buff. And he also comes with the ability Furious Bite. Now it says the wolf bites the target's feet, reducing movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. There's a 6-second slow on a 10-second cooldown. So if you let Fenryr just do his thing, your enemies are going to be slowed about 60% of the time. Now that's huge. So let's talk about raids and dungeons. Ferocity, in my opinion, the best spec to take, not the best spec, the best pet family to take because of the aforementioned Primal Rage ability. I mean, this is huge on bosses. Huge. I mean, you're basically boosting your entire team's damage by about 30%. As far as the slow that it brings in PvE content, doesn't really bring much, but with the Predator's Thirst ability as well, this is going to help you stay alive as long as you're doing damage, which is going to alleviate a little bit of the pressure on your healers. As far as PvP goes, Primal Rage is disabled in arenas, unfortunately, and that's just because it's too big of a damage buff. But in Battlegrounds, I say wolves are one of the best pets to take. You get the combination of boosting your entire team's damage, you get the leech to help you and your pet stay alive, combined with Furious Bite. I mean, if you're playing marksmanship, if you're playing beast mastery, this is going to significantly help in keeping distance between you and your opponent, and if you're playing survival, it's going to help you close the distance between you and your opponent. All in all, in my opinion, Fenryr, 10 out of 10 pet. I know a lot of people have it. I still give it a 10 out of 10. Let's move on. Next, we're going to talk about Osca the Bloodied, and that's this brown bear right here. You can see he's got some arrows sticking out of him, and he's also bleeding out of his right paw. I love pets that have some type of like glowing or light effects to go along with them, and the bleeding paw is just the cherry on top of this already sick looking pet. This guy I actually stumbled across. So he's in Stormsong Valley, just on the lower left part of the map. He doesn't have any type of special spawn timer as far as I can tell, so if he's not there, just wait around a couple minutes, he should pop back up. Now, he also retains his original name after taming, which is super cool because, as you know, when you name your pets, you can only use one word. So having a pet by your side named Osca the Bloodied is just freaking badass. So Osca here belongs to the Tenacity pet family, which means he's going to bring you the endurance training and survival of the fittest abilities. Endurance training is just going to increase your maximum health by 5%. along with your pets, and survival of the fittest is going to be a defensive cooldown for you. Now, it's not super strong. It's going to reduce the damage you and your pet take by 20% for 6 seconds. not huge, not a very long duration, and it's on a 3-minute cooldown. So as far as pet families go, I would say Tenacity is probably the weakest, but if you're having trouble staying alive, then you might just want to go Tenacity. Osca the Bloodied also comes with the ability Thick Fur, and it says when falling below 40% health, the bear's fur will thicken, granting 60% reduced incoming damage for 15 seconds. Can only occur once every 2 minutes, but basically this is a automatically triggering defensive cooldown for your pet. If you're having trouble with your pet being nuked, even through like your mend pet and stuff like that, especially if you're playing BM in PvP and people are just taking out your pets, you might want to consider a pet like this with an automatically triggering defensive cooldown combined with the fact that you have a defensive cooldown for you and your pet plus 5% increased maximum health. It's not a bad tanking pet at all. Now in raids and dungeons, I'd probably pass on this guy just because he doesn't bring anything in the way of offensive utility or damage boosts. But if you're soloing and you're having trouble staying alive, if you're having trouble with your pet dying, especially with the 4-second pet revive that we have now instead of 2, this pet might not be a bad option. Not to mention, he's definitely at least one that you're going to want to go out and collect, even if you don't use him. So let's look at Chartusk. First of all, dope name. Second of all, dope model. I mean, look at this guy. Aside from the spears that are lodged into his back and his side, he's got these fucking bristles and spikes all over his body that just make him look deadly. I mean, it looks like you're gonna hurt yourself if you go up and try to pet this guy. And he's got this obsidian skin that I just really like. Makes him look fierce, makes him look ferocious, and definitely a sick ass pet to have by your side. Now he's gonna be spawning in Tiergard Sound at the top left of the map. I've put a little marker on the map for you, and just so you know, it looks like he would be on top of this hill on the map. He's actually not. You're going to want to go north and jump down off of the hill, and he's going to be located inside of a cave. Chartusk is also going to retain its original name after taming, which I am perfectly happy with. Like I said, I love the name. And as far as abilities, as far as what Chartusk here brings to the table, he belongs to the Cunning Pet family, bringing you Pathfinding and Master's Call. Now, Pathfinding is going to give you and your pet 8% increased passive movement speed. And Master's Call removes all root and movement impairing effects. Now, it's not going to work on stuns. It's not going to work on fears, charms. It's going to work on roots and snares only. But nevertheless, a great utility to have in PvP. Also brings the ability Bristle. And it says the boar bristles its hide, reducing damage taken by 50% for 12 seconds. So this is basically just a weaker version of the defensive cooldown that Osca the Bloodied has. It's only a 50% damage reduction instead of 60, and it's not automatically triggering. So still nice to have. Okay, it's still nice to have. I'm not gonna say it's OP or anything like that, but once again, if you're having trouble with your pets getting nuked, if you're out there soloing content, or if you're out there doing PvP and people are just taking out your pets, not a bad ability to have. I would steer clear of this pet if you're doing any type of PvE activity, except for world PvP, and here's why. Raids and dungeons, like I said, you're gonna want to take the Ferocity Pet family for that big damage boost. And if you're doing solo PvE content, you're probably gonna want to take a pet that's either gonna increase your damage or help you stay alive. This Cunning Pet family is more focused on mobility, right? So it's going to be great in PvP. Now, the Cunning Pet family, combined with the Bristle special ability, is not the most potent in the game. There is other special abilities that could be paired better with the Cunning Pet family. However, I would say this is a pretty solid choice, whether you're doing World PvP, Battlegrounds, or Arenas. Not only because you're going to be able to move around the map so deftly with that pathfinding ability, giving you plus 8% movement speed, but also Master's Call is not something that should be overlooked. And if somebody tries to get smart on you and take your pet out and try to remove, you know, the vast majority of your damage, depending on what spec you're playing, you're going to have a little bit of a backup to help keep your pet alive, to help you keep doing damage, and ultimately to help you win the fight. Now, our fourth pet of the day is named Wildtusk, another tusk. And Wildtusk is a river beast, aka a hippopotamus. And I mean, I didn't realize how big this guy really was until I started recording for this video. I mean, this is a massive pet. It's insane. And honestly, just as far as the detail of the model, I didn't realize it, but I actually really like the appearance of River Beast, especially obviously he's got the spear sticking out of him. That's why he's in this video, and that's why it makes him 10 times more badass. But just the detail with the mane and the skin folds and just the overall shape of his body, I mean, he just looks like a beast. Now, this is another one that I actually just happened to stumble upon. He's in Zul'Dazar, top right corner of the map. I marked it on the map for you. Super easy to find. And obviously he stands out, not only because of his size, but because of the spear sticking out of him. And given that he's a river beast, he's going to belong to the tenacity pet family, again bringing you endurance training and survival of the fittest. Just a reminder, that's a 5% increased maximum health for you and your pet, and a defensive cooldown, reducing the damage that you take by 20% for 6 seconds. Now he also comes with the ability Gruesome Bite, which is going to cause the Mortal Wounds debuff. It says the river beast bites gruesomely at its target, causing mortal wounds on the target. Now mortal wounds, basically, and it says right here, it reduces the effectiveness of any healing received for 10 seconds. This is the go-to special ability for pets for PvP content. I would not recommend taking this pet in PvE because you're not doing anything for your teammates as far as damage, or really for you either. But in PvP, mortal wounds, I'm telling you, like, if you're 1v1ing and a healer pops up, or if you're in arenas and that healer is just doing mad amounts of heals, mortal wounds can seriously diminish the amount of healing that the enemy receives. Now, I would say that the best combination of special ability and pet families would be Cunning with mortal wounds, because you have that extra mobility along with the utility that comes with mortal wounds. However, if you're having trouble with the enemy focusing you, if you're having trouble with your pet being focused, the combination of Tenacity's survivability with the Mortal Wounds debuff can potentially be very potent and very useful to you if what you're missing out on your kit is survivability. All in all, not only do I think Wildtusk is a sick, awesome, dope, amazing model that you should definitely go out and tame just to have in your collection, but he also actually has something to bring to the table in the competitive PvP scene. Guys, I've been putting out videos just like this about once a week, so make sure you click that little circle on the top left to subscribe to the channel. Trust me, it's gonna be worth it. I've got a lot more pet videos planned for you guys, but feel free to throw me a suggestion in the comments section. It will not go unnoticed. Good hunting, everyone, and until next time, I'm Blue Monkey, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.